So guys, and now the most important part of English language. You know the answer, yes, it is pronunciation. Once again, hope you can find this file together with this video. You can print it out or look at it. And yes, I'm going to tell you about pronunciation one more time, and I will continue doing so in the future because, well, when you speak English, of course, you say words because you want to express some ideas, and the ideas are in words, but you have to pronounce these words, right? You have to say something, you have to make a sound. And you can't really learn words without learning how they sound, right? Of course, like you need to learn the idea, the meaning, and the sound of the word. And there's a problem here, because there are some sounds in English language that do not exist in Russian. And there are some words in English language that sound very, very similar. And when you pronounce one word, you actually end up saying another word. Like, instead of saying, for example, полицейский, cop, you say чашка, cup. And these are two different words and two different sounds. So, in order to learn vocabulary correctly, you have to learn the English sounds, like what sounds there are, and pronounce them, or at least try to pronounce them correctly. Of course, it will take a lifetime, like years, to learn all of the words correctly, all of the words that you have already learned, and the new ones. But still, we should start. And we should learn the sounds, and we should, you should have a good understanding of the difference between these sounds. And I'm going to explain them to you right now, maybe once again. And you should be able to hear the difference, and you should be able to produce this difference. And you have to have this information recorded in your body, in your, subconsciousness. Like you should know, well, these are the sounds, and this is how they are pronounced. And one more important thing, accent. There's a British English, there's American English, right? On the one hand, they have lots of similarities, like a lot of similarities. Like their sound systems are similar. In many ways, they are very similar. For example, they both have the sound ah, or something like ah, длинная ah. They pronounce this sound differently, but they both have it. And actually in my head I have a mixture of both accents, and sometimes I speak this accent, sometimes that. I may pronounce one word in British accent, another in American, so this is also true. I have kind of a mess, and sometimes I teach certain things combining both British and American pronunciation, but this is not the problem. What is the problem is the fact that students just speak out of their Russian sounds, and they don't know the difference between words, whatever the difference. And this is what I'm really trying to achieve, to make sure you know the difference between words and sounds. The words like Tim and team, and these are two different words. And Americans and British people may pronounce these two words differently in terms of their accent, but the truth is that both these accents, they have their distinct and different pronunciation of these two sounds. So they both have these two sounds, длинное и короткое э. Like they both have it, and whichever way you pronounce it, make sure it's different. And this is the main thing that I'm teaching, okay? Not a particular accent, but actually these sounds that I have here, well, they are 100% American. Like that's what I'm gonna say. I found it in dictionaries with American pronunciation. But even if it was British, it's not that important, really. What is important is for you to have this knowledge recorded in your body and to be able to produce it, to hear it, to understand it, and learn words carefully, learning the difference between them. And this difference is always there, whatever the accent, American or British. Okay? And so this is what we're learning, and it's super important. And the last thing. I know that all of you, pretty much all of you, have this phobia from school, like that school teachers tortured you, English teachers, I mean, they tortured you, they did bad things to you, and you hated this transcription stuff because you couldn't understand it, because you didn't know why you needed to learn it, because the lessons were boring and things like that, and you hated it. And I understand, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had difficult childhood. I'm sorry. Actually, I had the same experience. But the problem at school was that you had to learn some language of these symbols without meaning. You didn't really learn the difference in meaning of these sounds, like the difference in pronunciation. And you didn't because you never had any speaking practice, you never had any listening practice, right? Like everything you did at school was on paper and you read, pretty much everything. Maybe you had some exceptions, but the rule is you deal with texts, you learn words, you read and translate and read and translate and learn by heart. That's what school education is all about in terms of English language, right? So you learned this without meaning. You didn't know the sounds because you didn't have to listen to that, you didn't have to say that. And now it's changing, or it is supposed to change. And this phobia that you have, it's a fake. It's unreal. It's like little children are afraid of monsters under their beds, really. Because it's super important, it's super useful, and it's easy. It's actually easy if you just get it out of your head, this idea that is sitting there that is telling you that there's a little monster in your head saying like, it's difficult, you cannot learn it, it's a piece of you don't learn it, it's bullshit, it's not, you don't need it. And if you kick that guy out and you tell yourself, okay, I will make this effort, I will seriously try to learn it, to understand it, and if you listen to me, and if you repeat after me, and if you listen to yourself, that's the most important thing. You should listen to yourself. You should not visualize these sounds. You should listen and repeat, and listen to me, repeat after me, and listen to yourself, and get used to seeing. Get used to saying and to hearing certain sounds and get used to them. Get used to that by repeating and by listening and repeating. And that's easy. Guys, I guarantee you that if you do it well, maybe a couple of times, and then next month, and then the next month, you will really, really learn it. You will know it. And then we may have, some less of such videos with introductions, with explanation, and we'll just practice things in a more natural way. But the challenge is, first, to learn the sounds, and then to learn these symbols. But it's easy to learn that. Why? Because you know the sounds, and a symbol, why do we need these symbols? Well, because we are in the classroom. We're students. We're not in New York, right? In some office in New York. We're in the classroom, and we're not living there, right? We're here studying English, and writing or using symbols is just a very easy instrument to share information with students. If you ask me how do I say in English this or that, I say, okay, that's the word deprecation, and you ask me to spell this word. So how do you write it? And I write it, and it's easier for you to get this information when I write it. Same in sound. If you have a sound written inside of you, or recorded inside of you, this is the way you pronounce it, and then I write one symbol on the board, and it's, okay, I understand. Like in this word, you have that sound. Okay, now I understand. You don't have to listen to me or to anybody to see the difference and understand this difference and pronounce this difference. No, when you have, you understand. So learning these symbols is not a problem when you know the words, the sounds. So please make this effort. We're going to start working with these sounds. Now make this effort, do it seriously, it's really important. And in the future, just learn words, carefully checking the correct pronunciation in a dictionary, and the best dictionary for that is Cambridge Dictionary online. So if you Google Cambridge Dictionary online, you will find this dictionary, and it gives you American and British pronunciation in transcription and in sound, so you can listen to that. You know how they say it. So And in the future, you can just learn new words using that resource. And the thing is that I myself keep relearning certain words that I learned like 20, 25 years ago without checking in the dictionary. And I just read the word, and I thought I read it right, and I kind of misread it, and I made a mistake. And I repeated this mistake in the future, like mispronouncing it throughout all of my life, throughout all of my speaking. And then 20 years later, I understand, oh my God, that was wrong. I just learned it wrong because I never checked in the dictionary. So it happens to me. Of course it happens to you. It's important for me, and of course it should be important for you, because the sound that you make is the impression that you make on the people when they see you, when they communicate with you. It's like clothes. Don't wear dirty clothes. Don't wear torn clothes with holes and old clothes. Okay, try to upgrade, update, and buy something new and look nice and sound nice. So let's learn it. Let's do it together one more time and enjoy it. Good luck. So, now let's practice these vowels, American version of English vowels. They're very similar in British English, only they pronounce it a little bit different, but they have the same vowels. And just repeat after me. The first vowel is ah. Like you open your mouth, drop your jaw, and don't move your lips. Ah. If you open your mouth wide, you'll get ah. Ah, that's wrong. If you put your lips together, it'll be aw. That's wrong. Okay, so it should be right in the middle. Dollar, cop, not, God. Like, if you want to hear the difference between, for example, полицейский и чашка, yeah? So, and this is sound number 2. Cop, that's long, полицейский, and cup, that's short, чашка. Cop, cup, cop, cup. Or the same, for example, не and орех, like не, not, nut. Not, nut, not, nut. So that's the difference, and I want you to get used to that difference. So the first vowel, once again, cop, not, got, walk, problem, what, shop, father, God, off, office. And very often, this sound goes together with the sound and Americans always pronounce unlike British people. So they say chart or chart, chart, chart. Some of them may even pronounce it closer to all, like chart, chart, but that's just accent thing. So and together, chart, start, like you pronounce start, star, park, car, Mars, R, dollar, college, from, shop, not, God. And chart, start, problem, by the way, problem, your problem. That's wrong to say dollar or cop or what. What? That's the way. What? Of course, it's not too big of a deal if you pronounce it what. Of course, everybody will understand you, of course. But you see, we're talking about two different things. One thing is when you speak and you say things the way you say them because it's your subconsciousness speaking, and you haven't done enough repetition for this knowledge to be in your subconsciousness because it takes years of practice, really. What we're talking about here is that you learn certain things that are there in the English language and something that sometimes will be crucial. Like it will really make a difference, because if you say cup, meaning полицейский, well, people may misunderstand you. Of course, their brain may still choose the right option, the right meaning, though you mispronounced it. Still, like it's possible and it's very easy to be misunderstood. It's not a problem with the word what, but with other words, it may be a problem. So you need just to have this sound knowledge, or the system of English sounds. And you need to be able to pronounce things correctly when you need to focus on it and say it correctly. Like in the classroom, for example, when you want to specifically say something in a certain way, so in order to avoid confusion and misunderstanding. But in your everyday life, of course, you'll be talking same way. I know that unless you make super effort to develop the habit of always saying problem, what, got, and so on and so forth. But I'm not sure you're gonna do it, but I wish you would. Anyway, next sound, I've already shown it to you. It's like short, nothing special, like cup, nut, butt, mother, tough, grunt, funny, very easy. Just need to show the difference between the two. Once again, it's God, Bog, and gut, кишечник, gut, gut, God, gut, cop, cup, or cart, cut. That's the difference. But sound 2 is easy. Number 3 isn't difficult either. It's or, like pretty much all the time it's or together with or. So core, war, store, for, morning, dorm, storm, or. Even if you don't pronounce but if you just say storm, a war, store, this will sound British, but still it'll be different from the sound like you say. You will say cop for полицейский, and for example corpse. What is corpse? Corpse — это труп. And you may sometimes say corpse, meaning, это я хотел сказать полицейский, сказал труп. I mean, you should. That's wrong, of course, but you should show the difference between corpse or corpse and cops and cups. Cops, полицейский, cups, чашки, and corpse or corpse, труп. Number 4, it's a diphthong, it's O. Sometimes you may see in some dictionaries like this O, yes, another transcription, another symbol. That's British symbol. It means that you don't say nose in British, you say nose. It's a little bit closer to A, but now it's O. Cope, nope, rope, mole, okay, over, dope, stroke. It's easy, but you just need to check the words to make sure that this particular word have the sound O in it and not or whatever. Not another sound, but this one in particular, but the pronunciation here is easy. And again, the difference: cope, иметь дело с чем-то, cup, чашка, cop, полицейский, corpse, труп. These are two different, or court, суд, court, суд или court, cope, cup, cop. These are 4 different sounds from the top. And you should pronounce them differently. Please listen to me and repeat after me and learn these sounds. You can, again, listen to these words in Cambridge Dictionary and imitate and remember the sounds. Anyway, sound number 5, our favorite. Open your mouth wide, and say cat, stand, chapel, dam, fat. Yes, ram, dam, stand. Right. Hope you know it. I hope you understand it. Number 6, very simple. Русское step. Let, chest, demo, head, said. And in contrast with the previous sound would be like sad. This is грустный, sad. And сказал, said. Had, имел, had, и голова, head. And these are different sounds, and you need to pronounce them differently. Step and stand. Quite different, right? And sometimes Americans, by the way, they don't like to use diphthongs like that's very British to say air. So instead of these diphthongs, they say ear, ear. So they don't say chair. They say chair, 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 air, hair, chair, hair, air, yeah, chair, hair, lair. British people would say hair, lair, a bear. So this Americans say bear, bear, bear. I cannot bear it. I cannot bear this bear. Bear, bear, bear. That would be absolutely correct from the point of view of American. In the previous lesson, like I gave you this sound, air. We pronounced it. I mean, it's not like a big of a deal, of course, if you say things like bear and chair. But the problem is that you need to make sure that you pronounce certain words correctly in a dictionary and not just use your intuition because it lies to you. Not often, but okay, sometimes it happens that you just know things wrong. And in order to use the information given to you in a dictionary, you should have a system of knowledge. And that way, when you learn something new, when you find out something new, you will know where to put this information. And you will not be relying only on your intuition and just, you heard some pronunciation of some certain word and you repeated it and you just remembered it like intuitively. No. Once again, it's important not just to repeat after me, like I said, but also to listen to yourself and see, and get used to the sounds as they sound, as the pronunciation of the sounds. Anyway, the next one is E. Very simple. E. People. Team. Leap. Steal. E. And it's different from the next one, which is E, which is closer to E. Yeah? E. And you have leap. That's sound number 7, right? Leap. And 8, lip. Team, Tim. Deem, dim. Steal, still. Neat, knit. E. And again, Americans don't say ear, they say ear. So, here. Beer. Mere. Lear. Year. That's the way they pronounce it. So you have E and R together. The same sound ear. E, leap, steal, sheep, near, year, beer, team, people, sheep, E. And the next sound, still, Tim, bin, chill, different, difficult. Don't say different, okay? Say different. D, не ди, а д, как дым. Dim, different, difficult, bin, chill. And the last sound in this line is E, only it's short. So it's like this sound, people sound, only short. And you say the sound at the end of the words, like 20. You don't say 20, say 20. T, it's E. Just regular E, nothing special, but only without these dots, so it's not long. It's short. 20 or 20, right? Americans may say like 20. So 20, noisy, 50. Nothing special, easy. Next sound, line number 3, ooh. You need your lips for this, and you need to say group, ooh, school, hoot, stoop, food, pool, ooh, and it's easy because it's like in Russian. And the next one is difficult. It's book, or look, cook, foot, and you see, you say нога, foot, стопа, foot, and еда, food, food, foot, food, foot, food, foot, cook, look, push, wood, pull, took, push, foot, book, cook, took, and the previous one, pool, pull, hoot, cook, group, book. And of course, once again, Americans don't say ua, they say tour, shore, lure. That's the way they say it. And you've heard it many times, right? Sure. Sure. Americans say sure, not sure. Next sound is If you can pronounce it like it's okay, they'll sound more like British, and it's fine, but Americans will say girl, work, church, work, world, world, work, world. Работа is work. Прогулка is walk. And война is war. So we have walk, прогулка, war, война, and world or work. These are 3 or even 4 different words with 3 different sounds. Walk, war, work. Walk, war, or war, yeah, and work. So girl, work, church, work, world, dirty, girl, whatever, jerk, oh yeah, jerk, he's a jerk. Next sound is very important. It's a schwa. It's a reduced sounds. I would like a reduced vowel. I would like to remind you that гласные а, о, у без ударения практически всегда schwa, то есть произносится как попало. Гласные и часто не редуцируются до schwa, остается и. And sometimes even whole words become schwas because they are not stressed. You say them quickly without stress. Like you can say what, or you can say what I want. That's schwa, and what I want, or what he wants. That's the first sound. The pronunciation is different. Anyway, the important thing is to stress the word correctly and just not say this sound at all, like about, or common, problem, measure, mirror, doctor. As you can hear, sometimes the schwa goes together with the r, and you say doctor, sister, brother, measure, mirror, common. And this schwa is important because it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere, because when you speak English, you stress certain things, and the rest, they stay unstressed, and that's how they sound. And the rest of the vowels, they are diphthongs, a, oi, ow, I. In terms of their pronunciation, they're quite easy, really. They're quite easy. You don't really need to learn them, how to pronounce them correctly. You just need to know that in certain words you have this diphthong and not some other word. Like you don't say, or some other sound. You don't say danger, you say danger. You don't say okay, you say okay. And so it's danger, play, fake, plain, steak, a. Some of them are obvious, but there are other words that you think they should be like Australia, and it should be Australia, or Canadian, you say Canadian. So there's this sound a in certain words that you pronounce as a. Of course, it's not a bit, come on, who cares, right? But you should. Even though you're understood when you mispronounce it, still, like good pronunciation is important. So, oi, ow, I, very easy. Just repeat after me. Boy, choice, foil, round, foul. By the way, it's good to say ow here, ow, ow, but just up to you. Round, foul, doubt, smile, or fire, higher. Again, I and So they don't say aya, fire. No, fire, higher, higher, kite, smile, child, wild, round, foul, down, choice, foil, smile, fire, higher, so on and so forth. So, and now a little test. Let's do a little test. I will say a word in Russian. Please say it correctly in English. I will say magazin, shop, пиво, beer, стоять, stand, справляться с чем-то, с проблемой, cope, Бог, God, опасность, danger, орех, nut, Ходить пешком, гулять. Walk. Книга. Book. Война. War. Or war. War. Доктор. Doctor. Работа. Work. Стул. Chair. Машина. Car. Доллар. Dollar. Зеркало. Mirror. 4. 4. Ядро. Core. Стоять. Stand.